Okay, so if you are watching out there on the internet, welcome. This is Andrew Martin, and we've had some problems this afternoon with the live transmissions. I apologise to all of you. It's a problem which has been recurring throughout the fortnight, and we hope we've got it fixed now. My co-commentator Ravi Kumar's on a break. We're on a break theoretically, but I'm going to try and get you up to speed with what's happened so far this afternoon, because you've been unable to listen. The top ball game, Pert against Gormally, has got to this stage. I'm going to rush through the moves so that we can get up to speed with what's going on. Pert played d4, and perhaps slightly surprisingly, Gormally responded with the Bogo Indian defence. Pert blocked with his bishop, and now came the Vitalinch variation, c5. One of the less common choices here for black, but not at all a bad variation. Pert took the bishop, Gormally recaptured, and then a3, asking the question right away. And now normally black plays pawn takes pawn here, but Gormally committed his queen to e7. And now Pert played the rest of the opening very quietly. He played e3, black took on a3, white recaptured with the rook, so as to be able to play his knight to c3, presumably at some point. Then Gormally played d6. White went b4, grabbing some space. Black went b6 because we couldn't quite work out whether after b4 castles, White was going to play c5. So Gormally decided to stop that by going b6. And then came bishop e2. Black played bishop b7. Both sides castled. And perhaps slightly surprisingly here, White put his knight on d2. But of course, that's a typical Nick Pert move. Very, very safe. And now, hopefully, White is going to put some pressure on the pawn at a7. So black played a6. White played knight e1. Black played knight c6. White played knight c2. And now pawn up to e5, which is pretty thematic for this variation. Black offloads his dark square bishop, then he tries to rearrange the pawn structure so as to coordinate his pieces. So the pawn's on black squares, the bishop controlling white squares. This is the position in the game as it stands. Now, Ravi's just come back to me, but we're still theoretically on a break. So I'm going to go straight to the second game, Hawkins versus Howe, which has in fact finished. Two of the strongest players in the tournament obviously feel that it's a good idea to take a day off.
Yeah.
And Ravi's rejoined me. Let's just see this brief game. It was more or less all theory. A Nimzo Indian where White played queen to c2. Black played d5. White took on d5. Black took back with the queen. White played e3, and now Black played c5, I think. Then came bishop d2. There were some trades. And Black got to put his knight on c6. Bishop takes f6, g takes f6. And I think now White played knight to e2. Then Black played bishop d7, developing. White played a3 to keep the knight out. And Black played queen e5, a powerful move, which has been seen a few times before. White brought the knight to c3. Black played knight d4. Queen d3, knight f5. e4, knight e7. Still as played many times before, or at least twice. And the game was agreed drawn.
So the game was drawn because Black offered the draw here, isn't it? I mean, the clock times have reappeared, so it looks like, you know.
Well, there's nothing interesting there because it had all been played before.
Yeah.
So now we move on to some more interesting games here. Summerscow, Arkle versus Summerscow. Now, this looks as though it's going very well for Aaron, but just before the break, we thought that he may have missed a complete knockout punch from Keith Arkle. So let's see whether this has in fact taken place. It was a Queen's Gambit, a Slav to start off with, which turned into this a6 chameleon variation. White played e3, Black played e6,
yeah.
And now a4 from Keith Arkle. Black plays c5.
Yeah.
C takes d5, e takes d5.
Bishop E2.
Bishop E2. No sign of any problems on the horizon.
Yeah. Knight C6.
Castles, bishop D6, all very standard stuff.
Yeah.
B3, white's got to get his queenside pieces out. C takes D4 by Aaron, knight takes D4, and now the queen goes to E7.
Yeah.
Possibly with the idea of coming to E5, which in turn puts pressure on H2. Yeah. So, again, no sign of anything, any trouble brewing, nothing on the horizon. White plays bishop B2. Black coolly castles. Bishop comes to F3. Queen E5, absolutely standard stuff.
Yeah, G3.
Bishop comes out. Rook E1.
Yeah.
And now, the fatal moment.
Yeah. And I think that when Black played Rook D8, very, very standard move there. One of the things is that, you know, I mean, he hasn't sensed some danger because it's not, like the bishop, first of all, on B2 is unprotected. And the second thing is that there are two knights on its path. So maybe this is what could have, Black would have felt, oh, I can just get Rook F8, standard move in, then I put my queen to G5 or somewhere. And now, as it was like, spotted by the commentators, knight takes D5.
Bang.
Bang.
Immediately giving Black a lost position.
Yeah, Black is thinking now.
He's got plenty to think about.
Yeah. And I think that, okay.
That's curtains, isn't it? More or less.
Yeah, but what happens if I just move my queen to G5? So you then.
Well, at the very least, I go knight takes C6, don't I?
And then knight takes F6. So knight D5, powerful move played by Keith Arthur.
Bang. It wouldn't surprise me if Aaron resigned this position, because if we turn the engine on, I think you'll find that, it's a pretty big advantage to white after knight takes D5. There we are. It's plus 1.9, nearly up at 2. Basically, Black's lost his most important pawn for nothing.
Yeah.
Not only that, the long diagonal is undermined, isn't it? So let's have a look at the main line where Black plays knight takes D5.
And then he goes
knight takes C6. Queen takes B2. Very important to count the pieces in these interchanges. Knight takes D8.
Okay, can I have? I can't even play knight C3 because.
And you've got a line up there, so you can't even play knight C3. That's the problem. So rook takes D8. Queen takes D5. The bishop's pinned. And white's exchanging a pawn up, and that's the end. So if he can't play that, let's get rid of these colours. They suddenly start to look a bit silly. If he can't play that, there is no move.
Yep.
Knight takes D4. Well, I'd be tempted to take, let's turn the engine off. It really makes you lazy.
So knight takes D4. I was thinking you should play knight F6 check first.
I was going to take with the bishop on D4. I mean, that puts you under really serious pressure. But the computer thinks pawn takes to get the rook in the game.
Yeah.
So it's really a choice of embarrassment of riches here. I think I like that move. Why not open up his king? What is he going to do about that? Not a lot. So this is like a one-move game. Knight takes D5. It wouldn't surprise me if Aaron resigned. He's still thinking, but there's not a lot to think about. Black is completely bust there in one move. Extraordinary.
So going back to Simon Williams now.
Okay, Simon Williams, yes.
Yeah, we have the standard.
Right, now I need to, because we're starting a new broadcast here on the internet, I need to dash through the moves in this game. So D4.
NF6.
Yeah, C4. Hebden plays his habitual King's Indian.
G6.
Yeah.
Knight C3.
Yeah.
Bishop G7.
Yeah.
E4 D6.
Yeah.
Knight F3 castle.
I'm on H5.
Bishop E2 E5. D5. Knight A6. Knight D2 H5. A3.
Oops.
C5.
Too enthusiastic.
Between
Cummings, Hebden, back in 1986.
So in come knight F3 and then knight H7, H4, and Hebden went F5, pawn takes F5, bishop takes F5, Knight d2 again.
He loves that square.
He likes to, think that he might conquer e4, and then knight comes to f6 to challenge that. Knight f1, rerouting to g3.
No, knight d2, queen
knight
f6. Yep.
Yeah, knight f1.
Yep. Queen d7.
Queen d7, and knight g3. We saw the surprising e4, and I think to a certain extent that he had to open the long diagonal even at the cost of that bishop. So
bishop g5, rook a8, queen d2, knight g4.
Knight g4.
Bishop takes. All as seen before the break. Bishop takes.
Bishop takes.
Castles.
Castle.
Yep.
Knight c7, getting that knight back into the game.
Yep. a4.
a4. Bishop f5 back, just defending that pawn.
Rook a1.
Rook a1, a6.
They're both playing really quickly, aren't they?
Yeah, a6, a5.
Yep.
b5. ab6.
b5.
Knight, yeah, knight a8.
Okay, so let's have a look at this situation here. So black now played b5. That wouldn't be everybody's first thought.
The main problem is that knight on c7 can't get in any activity. He has to play b5. And once and doesn't, he goes knight a8, and then at least that knight is active. The problem I look for that knight is that after ab6, knight a8, and then I can just play quiet moves like b3.
What do you think of this position, Ravi? Do you think it's better for white or black or just a game unclear?
It's just a very unclear, complicated game, But let me try to put some kind of an understanding into that position. Okay, first of all, that bishop on g7 is a very nice piece. It's doing a lot of damage on the long diagonal. While you compare it to the bishop on g5, I don't think the bishop on g5 at the moment is doing. So white might think exchanging it on h6. That could be one of the thoughts. And now this knight on c7 is completely, out of play.
Well, let me try and do something. You've gone b5, take it, knight a8. I was going to play knight d1.
No, why don't you gobble up the pawn on e4?
Well, because I didn't think that would be very wise, but maybe it is.
So you gobble up the pawn.
With this one, yes?
Yeah, as it happened in the game.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah, knight b6.
Yes.
And then now the cool
b3.
b3. So now that he's a pawn down, and the knight's still out of play, so black has to try some other, some other way to show that he has something for the pawn. So I mean, like, well, what can you do? What can you play here? Something like bishop e5 or bishop d4.
Well, first of all, let's have a look from black's perspective. Bishop d4, perhaps.
Yeah, or maybe just make way for the knight to get to e5 if he can.
Yeah, but you haven't got an easy square for your queen, have you?
So what happens if I just play rook? I can't play rook e5. No, there is a definite problem in there that the knight on b6 is completely out of play.
Okay, I think bishop d4. Let's try that.
Bishop d4 is the move ahead. And now, should I play something like king h2? What's the best bishop f4?
I can't see any real compensation for the pawn for black.
So is it, do I need to play bishop takes e4, knight takes e4, and then queen g4?
Or in this position?
Yeah, queen g4.
Knight takes d6?
No, bishop takes e4.
Yes, knight takes.
Knight takes e4, and then simply bishop e5, something like that. And now I can move the queen to f5, and then my knight can come to d7 and come alive.
Sorry, knight c takes e4, knight takes b6, b3,
b3.
bishop takes e4 now.
Yeah, played in the game.
Knight takes.
Yeah, and now it's just simply e6. So can I play just bishop e5 now?
Bishop e5.
Yeah. All I'm asking is my queen to go somewhere nice to f5 and then reroute the knight from d6 to d7 and possibly.
Okay. Rook e2.
Yeah, rook e2.
Just settle down for a nice long grind.
Yeah. There could be another idea here, just by playing instead of bishop e5. Sorry, instead of bishop e5. I found a way for my knight to get to f5 if I can. So can I play knight c8?
Knight c8.
I'm threatening knight e7, knight f5.
Is that a threat?
I'm not looking to improve my knight, you know. I mean,
what can a poor man do?
Yeah.
Right, rook e2.
Rook e2, knight e7.
Take it.
Well,
your knight will not reach f5. I want to put a knight on e6.
Okay, rook e7.
Hello.
Rook e7.
Hello. It's all coming true.
So knight c8. Can we go back and can I not play knight e7, but then shift my queen to b7 now?
Well, I took your knight off.
No, I'm going back. Move back.
Which move are you taking back exactly? It makes a difference.
Knight e7.
You're not playing knight e7, okay?
Yeah, I want to play queen b7.
Queen b7, hitting my lousy little pawn on b3. Right, I think it's time to take fire at g6.
Not easy for.
It's getting more difficult. I like this position for white very much.
Yeah. So he's still thinking whether to take it with the rook or take it with the knight.
Well, he could, I mean, we haven't even looked at taking with the rook yet. That must be okay as well, surely. Pawn up, swap off. You know, not exactly difficult chess.
So that's still, you know.
Okay, well, we'll add a little bit of spice. We'll add the machine. And what does it say? +2 for white. So whatever you play, you are struggling here.
Yep.
So was e4 a mistake by Hebden?
Yeah.
Let's go back to this position. e4 is given as the computer's first choice. It's an old version of Fritz 11. Still quite a good player, no doubt. What did he do wrong? Was it just getting bad? Suddenly got bad around this part of the game. Now it's very bad. He just wins a pawn.
What I didn't understand, why did you play rook d8 before b5? If rook gets to b6.
Here you mean? Well, he can play rook b8, but of course he drops that pawn again. That's the issue, isn't it? That's the issue.
Yeah.
So it looks as though in the game he did play rook takes e4, bishop takes e4, rook takes e4,
Or and bishop e5.
bishop e5.
And if you reroute the knight again to e2, then bishop h2 check g4.
Well, do you know something? I just think it's time to settle down for a nice consolidation. Just protect everything to ensure against difficulties.
So bishop into g3.
Bishop into g3. Let's have a look. I might hack this off now. Shall I? Bishop takes f2. Yes. Rook takes. Queen takes here. Only move. And perhaps this is not totally convincing. Yeah. So here, queen d3, bishop takes g3. So say I just take this. Can I get away with this?
Yeah. Yeah, but now rook f1 check.
King takes.
Queen f5 check.
Whoops. Let's see this.
Whoops.
Oh dear. I've managed to lose it. So rook takes e4, bishop e5, and white is thinking. So what were all those tricks coming out of? They were out of the fact that my rook on e4 was unprotected. So why don't I protect it?
With doubling of the rook, then bishop into g3.
Or queen d6.
Let's try this.
Yeah, bishop times g3. Oh, but now the knight is really bad, isn't it? I think that's why taking with the knight was a better option. But anyway, he's done this one, and now he's looking at some. Is he looking at some moves like bishop f4? And he play bishop f4, and then if you swap off, I take with the rook, and then that's not really, you know, the knight on b6 is struggling to get into play. This could be another.
I like the idea. It's a nice idea because it threatens to exchange off the active bishop, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then bishop takes f4, rook takes f4. Rook.
Does it help to play bishop h6 first or not?
Yeah, possibly. You know, things can happen there. But even the position with bishop takes d3 is not a great thing for black because the knight on b6 completely out of play.
Well, we think it's hard for Mark, this position. White is a pawn up currently, and the knight on b6 is way out of the game. Black would love to put that knight on e5, but then he's got to move his queen first. It takes some time. So that is the position in the game, and we'll come back to it. So just to recap, the game Hawkins, Howe was a draw, a theoretical draw, nothing of interest. Summerscale versus Arkle Summerscale. Aaron's just been knocked out with knight takes d5. He missed this move, and it's a complete knockout blow. Have we had any more moves?
He played knight into d4.
He played knight takes d4.
And then now, you know, that's like bishop d4, very good. You know, bishop d4 is the most logical move there.
I think any of the captures is okay, isn't it?
He played bd4.
He played bishop d4. Well, actually, the computer like pawn takes d4.
Yeah, but computers
But
looked at, like, you know, different possibilities, and then it doesn't understand that bishop d4 is quite a problem. And then now queen e6.
Queen e6, but this is now a disaster zone, isn't it?
Knight into f6 check. Just rip it
I
off.
mean, you know.
Knight takes f6. Pawn takes f6. And then
We'll have a look for a winning blow. Right, so let's have a look. So absolute minimum, white could take on f6. Black's got to recapture now. Have we got a winning move here?
so can we play bishop into b7?
Well, to be absolutely honest with you, I don't see what's wrong with that.
Rook b8, and then you got to move the bishop a6.
Well, I've got to be a bit careful I don't get mated. There's always that slight problem. I don't want to be too greedy here.
No, why can't I?
I mean, what am I? Look at your pawn structure. So what if I just swap stuff off?
So why don't you take a6? Then you'll be a pawn up.
Well, I'm pawns up anyway, aren't I? I'm 2 pawns up at the moment.
Yeah.
You want to be 3 pawns up, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, that's.
She agreed.
Yeah. No. Bishop g3, and then you know he gets something out of it. So I think knight f6, gf6, chop off b7, off for exchange bishop g2. It's going to be horrible for. Yeah, I agree now. Bishop g2, and then bishop g2, king g2, rook b3, just queen f3. You know, he's got to have horrible structure. Well, he's thinking. Still, he's thinking.
I would have thought rook b1 is the move here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Just queen f3, like you said. I mean, what's so difficult about this? You're a pawn up, and he's got some problems.
Yeah.
So that looks like very uncomfortable stuff for Aaron Summerscale. That's the position in the game. We're waiting for White's move.
Okay.
Pert Gormali.
Okay.
E5 was the last move.
Yeah,
Black's trying to break a free.
Yeah, rook e1, getting the rook into a nice positional play. And then black played h6.
Okay.
And now queen b1.
Doesn't want to be mated, Stuart. Okay.
Queen b1, queen c7. As you said, the queen belonged to c7.
Yep.
And now third plays bishop f1, preparing the position quite nicely. And now knight e7. And you know, he's got some visions of some attack at the king side. if you allow it. So I'm suggesting here.
Isn't White playing this very slowly? You know, he's just
You should now.
rook E1, bishop F1. No, not very impressive.
So what happens if I just close the position with D5 now? Shut the bishop out.
Well, I'm thinking of B5 straight away.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Then you have to go E4, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it looks dangerous to have the bishop on that diagonal, and then the knight now is just one more move from hopping away into some kind of play on the king side. So White needs a good move. So
This could be a very good move, Harry. It could be a very good move because you might be thinking about playing E4 and then swinging this rook across.
Yeah.
Some sort of rook lift to the king side.
So D5, knight G6, I would suggest.
Well, can I try and blast this position open straight away by playing something like that?
Well, I'm quite happy for you to take and then allow my thing over there. And can I play E4 now?
E4. Well, I've got to take it.
Yeah, and then knight C4. This is all going to be, you know, my knight is going to land on A5. You know, I'm quite happy with this one.
Yeah, it looks 100% clear.
Yeah, but okay. So I mean, this is one of the way you can play in this position.
I do like D5 though. But he hasn't played D5.
He played C5.
He's played C5.
So the point of that C5 is, if you take on C5 with the B, he's going to take with the B, and then you take on C5, he's going to take the pawn on E5. So he's undermining black's pawn structure there. And
sorry, let's see this variation then, because I'm not sure I completely understand it. You take this.
Yeah, I take with the B.
He takes this.
I take the E1.
Yeah, I take that.
And then I hoard off B7.
And I run screaming to the exit. Okay, fair enough. Let's go back.
But I think, can you introduce rook B8 here?
Yeah, I think that's a better move, isn't it?
But still now,
obviously you can take on D6, can't
yeah,
you?
take on D6, take on E5, and then offer Queen A1. You know, pick up on your pawn in the endgame.
Queen A1. I can't believe that black is not doing okay here. Queen to G5.
Yeah, Queen G5. I need to centralize my knight, and knight on C2 comes to D4. I'm okay here. I mean, like, you know, I mean, you have no attack.
Who says I have no attack?
Okay, if I now play knight D2 to F3.
I have no attack.
I have no attack.
Okay, so the position's opening up, and Per obviously feels that he'll be in a better position to deal with this opening up of the position.
So
sharp stuff.
Yeah, he played, you know, in the back to Keith Aronson game.
Yep.
Everything that we said happened. That he played knight into F6 check.
Wait a minute. Queen E6, knight F6 check. Goodbye.
And then forward up B7.
Goodbye.
Rook AB8, and now he's thinking whether to pull the bishop back to F3 or something like that. But I like bishop G2 quite a bit. I like that end game quite a bit. What if I'm really greedy and play Queen F3 here? What if I'm really greedy and play Queen F3? And then
you just said that. What if I go bishop G4?
Yeah, and then I go Queen H1, not letting you.
Queen H1. The graveyards are filled with people who buried their queen in the corner.
Well, the problem you really have is, you know, you can't touch the pawn on B3 because F6 is hanging. I'm
willing to wager 1 penny that he doesn't put the queen on H1. I'm really going to stick my neck out here. Do you really think he's going to put the queen on H1?
Well, if I played Queen G2, you're going to play bishop H3. Oh, I might play even Queen D5 there. Okay, change my mind. Queen D5.
What about Queen E4?
Queen D5, that's cheap. There's a lot of cheap. Yeah, Queen E4. Queen e4, the problem is...
You see, the thing is, I want to do this without any tactics, right? I just want to win nice and cleanly. Okay, let's be silly. I'll take the pawn. Wipe me out. Come on. The vultures are closing in. There must be something wrong with this move, right? So it feels as though it's very, very dodgy. So what? Show me the win. Show me the win. Huh? Bishop b4. How many pieces of mine does that put on free? Right. Okay, sunshine. And for your next trick, I'm praying this is going to work. Queen c6 threatening mate. Okay, just a second, just a second. I'll grab another pawn. Maybe I can grab another pawn. Yeah. Come on, let's go. Oh, to San Francisco. He just moves his bloody king. Yeah, that's far too calm. This is the commentary room. We want to just try and hack him up. That's true. That's true, but it's happened before, so it'll happen again. Okay, I can do that. So I just save the exchange. Let's go bishop f1. That's, of course, a much better suggestion. And then you take this on e1. He takes this. Yeah, I think this is truly awful for black. But on the other hand, is the exchange up?
Oh, he did play queen f3. The more I suggested.
He did play queen f3.
Yeah, it looks very nice. And then, and then now...
Arkle's just, trying to find the safest way to win a one position. That's.
Yeah. And now bishop e5.
Bishop e5. Aaron's started to speed up, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Which tends to suggest he thinks he's completely lost.
So bishop takes e5, queen takes e5, is it?
Well, I'm a pawn up on her. I'm 2 pawns up at the moment. Why do I need to muck around? Is there anything wrong with bishop takes bishop?
I'm trapping an exchange with bishop a7 and then bishop a1, rook a1. Is that rook going to... Oh, yeah, that's rook going to be something. Yeah. Now I think white needs a good move here too, because now... So bishop takes e5, he might even play f takes e5. And then you don't have...
Well, let me just try and keep it as simple as possible. I'll take it.
Yeah, f e5.
Right, now, are you actually threatening anything?
Nothing.
As long as you've got that bishop on h3, I do feel slightly intimidated.
No, I think queen f3 wasn't the best move.
All right, he's played bishop e5. Let's see what the computer thinks. It probably doesn't think very much of black's position at all. It's improved a little bit. Bishop takes e5 or rook a b1. The bishop takes e5, f takes e5, and now queen h5 apparently. Wow, is that true? Oh yeah, because of queen g5 check, picking up the loose rook. He takes the bishop, queen g5 check. And if bishop g4, queen g5 check, king h8, and now coolly bring the bishop back. Well, the computer clearly thinks bishop takes bishop is the right move. So we'll leave that one as it is once again. I don't think the evaluation's changed. I think Keith is actually winning, but Aaron's trying to put up some resistance.
Okay.
So, Williams, Hebden.
Okay.
Been some action and more action. They're playing like express trains.
So bishop e5 was played.
Yep. You suggested bishop f4, didn't you?
They played f4, which is...
f4.
And now bishop d4 check.
Check.
King h2. Rook into e4. Knight into e4. Knight c8. Finally getting something out of the knight. And now the rook e1. And again, the open e file is going to do something. And then king g7.
Right. Well, before we go on, we've got a couple of competitions which I'm now going to launch since we're broadcast online. We've got one for the audience here, and we've got one for the online. One for the online visitors. What you want to do, if you got the answer to my question, you simply go to the English Chess Federation forum and you post your answer. And the first person to get it right will be contacted, and you'll win a Ginger GM DVD sent to your home. So quite a nice prize. If anybody in the audience knows the answer to this question, please don't blurt it out. I rank this as actually quite difficult. Right, the question is, this is for the online viewers only. What is the oldest chess club in Britain?
Is that my average age of attending?
The oldest chess club in Britain. When was the first chess club in Britain established? The oldest one. So that is the question for the online viewers. If you think you know the answer, just go and post it on the English Chess Forum. Okay. Anybody think they know the answer in the audience? Put your hands up. All right. Don't say anything. We'll reveal the answer at the end. And now that we now come to the question for the audience, and you get your pick of the stall if you get the answer. Who was the first British chess champion to be awarded the Grandmaster title? That is the first question. Who was the first British chess champion to be awarded the Grandmaster title? That is the question for the audience. I rank this as difficult as well. So if you think you got the answer in 1 second, think again. Yes, sir? Mises. It is not.
You want the answer to what you thought.
You've won a book this afternoon, haven't you? Okay, next one. Yeah. Sorry? No, it wasn't Jonathan Penrose either. Next one. Ricky? Who's that? Is that a brother of Ray Keane? Okay, Ray Keane. No. Yes, sir. It wasn't Golombek either. This is a tough one. Yes, sir. Wasn't Tony Miles either. So we've had Penrose, we've had Miles, we've had all the normal answers. Mises, we've had... yes, sir. It is not Alexander either. Yes, please. Wasn't Michael Steen. Who was the first British chess champion to be awarded the Grandmaster title? So is that you've got to look at the wording of the question. Yes, please.
Oh. Over the board.
Over the board. Over the board, British chess champion. Over the board. Jonathan Hawkins? No, no way, man. Were you born in like 2003 or something? Yes, sir. Who? Is that S-P-I-E-L or S-P-E-E-L? It's neither Spielman, neither. Yes, sir. Not John Nunn. This is a real tricky one. This Stuart Rubens is springing a nasty one on the audience. I would never have got this in a month of Sundays. Yes, please. No. Shall I give him a clue? Right. The clue is the guy is Canadian. Yes, please. Sorry. Yanofsky, great. Round of applause. Very good. Abe Yanofsky. Abe Yanofsky, excellent. Right. Okay. Please come up, Mr. Ramage, and pick up your prize. Would you have got that if you hadn't been given the clue? Stuart, when was the year he got the GM? Yeah. Yeah. The both.
53 or 54.
Yeah.
And he got the title.
Well played. Congratulations.
He was a student in Cambridge.
Student at Cambridge, yeah.
So he played, of course he was allowed to play.
Yeah.
Because common most people were allowed to play until 1983. Sorry, I wasn't speaking out in the audience. And actually, this was pointed out to me by Andrew White.
Right. That is a very tough question.
Yes.
That is a very tough question. And the question about the chess club is tough.
Yes, I keep forgetting the answer to this.
Do you know the answer to that one?
I don't think
it's unexpected.
It's not in England.
It is in England.
Oh,
it is in England, yeah. It's an English chess club. Right, anyway, so that's for the online viewers to sort out. You can email the English Chess Federation forum. There's a thread waiting for you. If you get it, well done. I would never have got that answer. I wouldn't have got this one either. Right, okay, so let's go back. Instead of you, come on, can you get up the games, please? Thank you. He was having a break there, quiet break. So king to g7. Any other moves? They're still motoring here, lots of moves.
Yeah.
So white played knight to g3.
Yeah.
So in typical Williams style, he's now thinking about attack. His rook may be coming to e6. He could be pushing his pawn up to f5.
And then
The thing is, this is a rotten position for black, isn't it?
yeah, rook takes e8
Well, rook e8 by
black.
rook e8, yes.
Yeah, rook takes e8, queen takes e8.
Yeah.
In comes queen a5, which decisive threats on c7, as well as, you know, I mean, now black is forced to play queen b7.
Right, well, hang on a minute. Okay, so let's just verify that queen e1 is no good. Queen takes queen. But if the queen moves away, queen e1 could be an issue.
Yeah.
But white seems to have it all under control. So queen e3 is the next move to consider. And is he threatening anything at all? He's not. He's just one check, isn't it? Queen g1 checks, one check, king h3.
Yeah, nothing.
So white has got time to move his queen in and then make a quiet move or something like that. So Hebden's got to defend.
Yeah, queen d7 and then knight e4. You know,
It's gone, isn't it? This is gone, isn't it?
Yeah, reducing black to, you know, having no moves at all.
Well, I suppose white's going to just take the pawn off, isn't he? If as a default move, is he threatening anything totally decisive?
Well,
Queen takes pawn is decisive, I would have thought. But is queen c7 check any good?
Yeah. No, but if you play queen d7 now, knight e4, and then the a6 pawn will fall automatically.
Okay, let's give it a try. So queen d7, I don't like that somehow. But what do I like? There is no move. Let's try queen f7 to play bishop e3 and try and get some cheapos going. Okay, can you win?
Knight e4.
Queen takes pawn, you're on the knight, don't forget.
No, I want to play knight e4 now. I don't want you to...
You don't want vulgar things like taking off all my pieces.
Yeah, no, I want... as long as your queen can't leave...
Queen d8 is fine.
I want to tell why can't I just take all these pieces off? I don't understand it. You know, this is really this is too much teaching chess in schools to kids. You know, they love taking off the other guy's pieces. Doesn't matter if they've got a mate in one; they still prefer taking off the other person's pieces. So, okay, what about queen a6? It's completely bust, isn't it?
Yeah, but at least you put the queen on f7 where it's got new future. My queen on d7.
Yeah, at least it protects the knight.
Yeah, I can now play bishop, queen g4 and bishop f2 if I need to get some counterplay.
Right, have your fun then.
And okay, queen g4.
Oh, that is going to lose to something. That's going to lose to something. Check.
King g8.
All right. Now, f5. I'm thinking about knight e4.
That's also good.
Well, f5, bishop e5.
No, you interfered with the knight here. Queen takes knight check.
Yeah.
f5, I think, is a good move. Do your
Yeah,
worst.
It's all...
Cut the communication cord. That's okay. Let's test this out. Show me the mate, because he can't get out the pin on the knight. So we give a check first. It's completely lost, isn't it? Where can he go with the king? Trouble is, he can't go to h7 or f7 because he takes the pawn check and whips the queen off. So he's got to go there.
Yeah, and then now queen d7.
And now we move in for the kill.
King f8.
King f8, bishop h6 is not nice. Actually,
Legal.
okay, show me the win then after king f8. Go on. There must be an easy win here.
Queen e7 check.
Queen e7 check, yes.
Queen queen e8 check.
Queen e8 check, yes.
Chop off g6 check.
Or you could have gone f6 check, couldn't you?
Yeah, I just need to...
f6 check wins immediately. We cut the queen's communication. Now we can cut the bishop's communication. How about that?
Queen to g3 check.
You're in check. End of. I think queen a5 is a winning move, isn't it? Unless bishop f6. Yeah, but that's swapping off, you know. I mean, at the very least, I've got queen a1 check as well, so I take it off.
No. Oh. Now we can go queen c7 check, and he can't block by the queen, and the bishop is on 3.
Queen c7 check. That probably wins more quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well spotted. Anyway, I think you can take our point that that's over. Let's just verify it by putting on the machine. I would have thought that's going to be, it's up to ±3, which is quite sufficient. It likes queen d7, and then just either knight e4 or take the pawn. Choose your weapon. So Queen A5, Mark Hebden's thinking. He's got plenty to think about. I mean, I think that's it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and then going back to Nicholas Butt, Danny Gomali.
Okay. No, C5 was the last move.
Yeah, BC5, BC5.
Yes.
DC5.
Yes.
D into E5.
Yes.
Knight E4.
Knight E4. Okay.
Bishop E4.
Let me promote the variation.
And then
So Knight E4.
Knight E4.
Bishop E4.
F3.
F3.
And what he's trying to say is that if you chop off C2, I take with the queen, and then you chop off E5, I chop off A6. And he's having this imbalanced position where he can then plant a bishop on C4, get the pawn to E4, and play on. So
Grinding away, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is grinding away.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a better move.
Yeah, and if you go back with the bishop back to B7, he has moves like queen B2 or keeping that pawn on E5. It's not easy to play this position.
Right, okay, let me try to play the position. Much as you think it's not playable, I'm going to take this off.
Queen C2.
Take this off.
Rook A6.
Rook A6, take it off. Not that way round, please, thank you. Rook takes A6, fine. Rook takes A6.
Bishop takes A6.
Right, now in this type of position, I know I've got the worst pawns, but I need a knight in the centre, don't I? I need to put my knight somewhere like that. So let me play this. I mean, obviously, white is a very, very small, has a very small advantage, but I don't think it's any more than that. I think I should be able to hold this quite comfortably. Because even if you win this pawn, you know, bishop against knight with all the pawns on the same side, this is
surprising conclusion. The game ended in a draw.
F3 draw.
Just, you know,
Well, I think possibly because of this variation. Is this so great for white?
Let me try another way to do that one. Okay, if I don't hoover off A6, and can we go back a couple of moves where I don't take on
what in
A6.
this position?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't take A6 when I can just play bishop C4 or even bishop C4. Yeah, no. Yeah, I have to take A6.
I think you've got to take A6, and then we get this position.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just playing safe, consolidating their position at the top of the tournament.
Yeah.
Much better for black than white in terms of actual result. That's another very strong player that Gormali has actually managed to negotiate with black. He's played Howe, played Hawkins now, Pert. I mean, that's a lot of big players out of the way.
Yeah.
So Danny, you know, could be en route to the British title here.
Yep.
So a draw. Okay, we've got a draw in Hawkins Howe. They seem to be taking a rest day here. Arkle Summerscout. Any more moves?
No more moves.
Bishop E5. Arkle still thinking.
Yeah.
Time's on the clock. 36 minutes. Plays 44 minutes.
Yeah.
And any more moves in Williams versus Hebden?
No more moves.
Right. Okay. So shall we take a 10-minute break? All right. It's 5:15. We'll come back at 5:30, and then we'll go on to the end. And maybe we can even call up a new game for you. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. So 5:30, we'll come back and we'll carry on.
I presume David wanted a quick draw to recover yesterday's result.
Yeah, I mean, the
Maybe. No. No. British.
I know. That's why I'm not going to say anything.
That's not correct.
But you read the blurb.
Is that
Yes,
I know.
that's true, but the chess club is earlier than that.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, okay. As an ex-member, I should stand by.
Actually, shall I say something to you? I can actually reveal to the people still viewing online that a member of the audience here has put forward Edinburgh Chess Club as the oldest chess club in Britain in 1822, and in Britain, yeah, Britain, and that is unfortunately there's one even earlier than that. I've no idea. I would have thought so. Yeah, I would have thought it must exist. I think it has to exist. No,
That's good. That's good then.
Because as you can see, that's 47 years older than Edinburgh.
This website is claiming that is.
No, that's it.
Look at the blurb on Wikipedia there. It's claiming on Wiki to be
The oldest university club, though.
right.
Yeah, but the point is, it's of the British Chess Federation. It's not Federation.
That's right. It's gone, yeah. Probably gone, yeah.
Was he called British?
He got the answer.
Oh, well, I've got the book on him. But
That's the answer I have.
both of them. But not he sent an email to
1817. Very close. I can't say because it's an online competition. You can go and have a look at his piece of paper if you like.
The first British champion to be awarded to that. The grandmaster over the board.
Yes, okay. Okay, well, I'm going to fall into Tony's model. But the answer, well, Red King won it in
I would be impressed with your knowledge if you said that.
I would be very impressed. Very impressed.
It is a piece. I don't know.
Edinburgh quotes only got my life. I'll give you the clue.
In 1953.
That really is good. And you got that. The audience gave all the clues. It was a Canadian. And someone immediately said,
Yeah, you see it.
yes,
Yes, it was. Okay, here's a question for you. What is the lowest score to win one of the three? No.
7 out of
7, yes. We've got that. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the same way. That's on 7.
But he got much more than 7.
Yes.
So he did. In fact, I don't know how many he got. Maybe 7. Yes. And I was
Frank Hatter.
we are in
Okay, here's another one. Wasn't the highest score on the British and hasn't won the Yes. Ooh.
Frank.
Yeah, back in 56. Yes. Well, that's.
You know what happened? He agreed to draw. I think he agreed to draw because he thought they played, I think, two.
Yes.
But then Alexander, that's why I was whichever one it was, and therefore 61, 3.
Right. What else can we come up with? Who holds the record for most points?
You totally still.
Yes. No, I won.
Oh,
Yes, yes, you do. Who holds the record?
you like this story? He said to me, is it correct? 10 out of 11 will be correct.
Yes.
Headline says. I said, yes. Without eating, even feeling ill, I said, I'll go there.
Oh, yeah, because you said we should have asked you. Okay, here's another question. Who holds the record for the most consecutive weeks? That's not the top one.
Well, in one British championship would be
Yes, Messi, yes.
with 9 games.
9 games, yes.
I didn't know you might have been going for one British.
No. Keelan, without saying he lost.
Who had the most? I don't know the answer. The most probably Peter.
Yeah, he probably beat her on all the statistics.
How much do you see? I had black hair. It wasn't any different. It was very hard to find a good game.
I read a book on it. Well, he beat last one. No, he beat Paul and he beat John.
They were all
And he beat Penrose just one.
Yeah.
Penrose.
Yeah. How much did Smith Grant pay the premium of the insurance policy when they are to some people?
Really?
Which is basically 40 to 1.
Yes.
So after a time, John Green said to me, this is so nice that the anybody will get it. And we can afford it. So the premium was too high. It had been 150 or something like that. So they decided to take it. You can only take out an insurance policy. Or if it's too expensive. So that's taking out insurance against holidays. When I came back, when I came back, the insurance. Yeah, they said to me, because it takes a lot. The point where I asked the question, it's just too light. So I first saw medical insurance in 1966 when I moved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I obviously find the story is it. And then I do
One.
people who was four and was little.
Couldn't get up.
Well, you told me. Yeah, because you said it. Yeah, because it was Oh, that is
No, he's still alive. Peter Morris was the only person who was in touch with him on so far. Chess world. And he used to tell me what Peter's gone to.
Yes.
He told me. And there was something he thought about it because he's now, you know, his father must be dead, so he inherited it. He might have wanted it. He might not have been.
yes, in fact, it may not have been hereditary to someone not born in the right country, something like that.
Oh, wrong. Yeah, because it's French.
Yes. No, somebody told me they did see something that's just walking along the street.
Yeah.
Drew.
And they could hide.
I'll be back in the morning.
I'm coming back next year. I shouldn't say that.
He used to put his fingers in his mouth and just sit there watching the
I didn't. I'd never heard of that.
No,
He may have.
I think it's going to say, well, he probably had a
We're not. Oh,
he also he had a nap. And he'd say, okay, as in if I had one, we did a study of parents that push their children to.
I think that was. There was, you may not know this, but she throw the running around.
That's what you told me.
Yeah, I did great too.
Did
Amazing.
you try and
So we
get
had one something.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
told that.
Yeah.
I was looking for better
The second series
Messed it up.
one,
but then he got so annoyed.
the girl who
The last
was,
it was
Oh, right,
terrible.
okay.
I don't know if you said it.
He just
No.
confused my door after that. And then it was like, okay, when it was sitting in the door, he refused to position me really quiet. He just, I couldn't find it.
No. I look at it, check. He didn't win it because they made the tiny context.
But then,
You can keep it, won't you? And that's a
Yeah.
yeah,
Through,
and
obviously, that-
he Jack,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
the
don't
living wins.
quite know how that happened, but.
Yeah.
No, because it was.
Yeah, but the thing was, they repeated what he said. And he didn't, it wasn't good.
I was confused. It's a matter of his being home tutor.
I know, but then,
Well, they asked for support from the BC.
yes.
The board said,
Yes.
They have that. Home tutor.
You know what?
The buttons.
Well, that's, okay.
Sign.
Yes, you do. What did you break my dream about? You said something. Button the buttons. Oh, it's a rough answer.
The rains.
Oh, yeah, but I found one there.
Oh, well, he's
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
No, that's just it. He lives with a young lady who wrote a book on the Australian chess, and I wanted a copy. And I had friends in Australia that were to the details of the time didn't find it, and she played the book back. Right, I was still trying to remember. She played in an early one, and her game against John Nicholson is, I think, Shill's book or something. Anyway, she now lives in Geneva, and she wrote for BCA for about 2 months until she got September. And she is a professional writer, and she lives with him. And she's got him to play again. And it's so funny because she wrote, Manny is an English teacher, so I thought he'd play for Wales and was Jewish. So I don't know for once in my life.
I've never thought about it. I never think that.
They're very attached to Welsh music.
Of course, it's well.
Yeah, it's Welsh very much.
And I read an article in Saturday magazine.
Yes.
About this Welsh family. I said to oh, Manny.
Yes.
Manny. Is that your family? Who's been made? He said yes.
Well, what did it say?
Well, it said about the whole family homes and very dry.
I thought they were made to say, well,
Might have been
Mexico. Makes with Mexico.
It might have been up there.
Oh, very well.
Okay, welcome back to everybody here in Warwick and to everybody watching online. Just to review what's happened this afternoon so far. The game Pert versus Gormally on top board was agreed a draw after 22 F3. Satisfactory result for Pert, but no more than that. I think Danny Gormally would be the happier of the two. He's negotiated another strong player with Black and should have probably the easiest running of all the contenders. Why is this position a draw? Well, there's no reason whatsoever why they should agree to a draw, but we thought that there might be some liquidations leading to a position where White, not taking with the bishop certainly, where White has a very small advantage, but it would take him a long time and a lot of effort to prove it. So rather than that, they might as well save themselves for the last 3 rounds. Fair enough. Common sense. Hawkins versus Howe. Well, could easily be described as a non-event. 15 moves of theory. Not a lot going on. David Howe, after losing yesterday, just decides to take a day off and have a rest. Very sensible. Hawkins just happy to get Howe out of the way, I would have thought, and move on. 3 rounds, long time, plenty of catching up to do, so a draw suits them. Arkle Summerscale, well, this was really a game where after Rook E1, if we take it back a few moves, nothing appears to be going on. Isolated Queen's pawn position. White's got this move A4, which looks a bit out of place. Black seems to be putting his pieces on good squares. And unsuspectingly, Aaron played Rook FD8, walking straight into this humdinger of a move, Knight takes D5. And there's absolutely no way back from that. I mean, he probably found the best way to try to keep the game going. He took on D4. Keith took back with the bishop. Queen E6. White gets the chance to double the pawns near the king. He even gets the chance to snap off the pawn on B7. Black plays Rook A, B8. And now Keith tries to play it safe. He's winning. He should play it safe. He plays Queen to F3. Black played Bishop to E5. And this is where we left it before the break, with basically White trying to find the best way to solve this conundrum. How does he win this without complications?
First thing I believe is congratulations in order. Played Queen to H1. And I'm going to claim a price of ante for this. So after Bishop B7, Rook A, B8, Queen F3, Bishop E5.
Bishop E5, yes.
And now he played B4, securing that pawn.
B4 securing the pawn.
Yeah, Bishop takes D4, E takes D4.
No, hang on. There's some other moves. B4, Black played Bishop G4.
Queen H1.
Okay, well, if you're watching online, this was suggested by Ravi about an hour ago, and I just said that was the silliest idea I'd ever seen, or words approximating to that effect. There's a famous game, Petrosian versus Gligerich in the King's Indian, where Petrosian put his queen on H1 and got absolutely obliterated. And yet here, Keith Arkle just calmly plays his queen to H1. Majestic control of the long diagonal. But of course, this is a totally different position. Well, white is 2 pawns up. So what has black got to show for it?
Yeah.
Not a lot, I would imagine.
Yeah, and in looking back at the position that we got in tonight, that maybe bishop to b7, grabbing the second pawn wasn't so, the black suddenly has some counterplay. So maybe not taking the b7. If you can show that, is there a move that he could have played not taking b7?
Well, that's back. Incidentally, I haven't seen any counterplay yet. What do you mean counterplay? Where is it? Where is it?
Is there another move instead of bishop b7? I mean, I'm just thinking, is there another good positional move here that you are a pawn up, and you got this scrambled pawn on that? So is there somewhere he could just play a quiet move to try to get things going on for him? I mean, like something like queen c2.
Well, you could try rook c1, couldn't you? Is that a move? That sort of move?
I mean, this is too early to take that pawn on b7.
Well,
I mean,
are you sure about that? I mean, what's wrong with the position he reaches in the game?
Yeah, we can discuss that one. But I'm saying that if you don't take on b7, if you played a cool move rook c1, are you really going to put the rook on b8 to save that pawn?
Rook c1,
yeah.
Queen d2, Queen e2.
Yeah.
Bishop b7, evaluation still nice, but going down.
So I like rook c1 quite a bit, I mean, and then I want to put...
I think Keith probably saw a pawn and he took a pawn. It's as simple as that, I think most people would have done that, to be absolutely honest with you.
And I think that now in this position that he is slightly muddled it up by taking the pawn, in my opinion. And he should have played a calm move like rook c1 or another good developmental move. But now seeing that he did put the queen on h1, and now bishop times d4.
E takes d4, queen b6.
Queen b6, winning one of the pawns. Bishop f3, queen f3, and now rook d4. It's not at all clear now. Where is advantage? Yeah, but like you are going to grab on b4 now. How am I going to stop you from grabbing b4? Well, that's taking the rook from e1 to. So I think he should now play b5. In this position, he should play b5.
Well, let's take a look at this. What are White's advantage? You've got a pawn up, but that pawn's probably going to be lost. The major advantage clearly is the position of the king, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got to attack that king. That's the obvious way. Now the way to do this is to tie him down. So I like your move b5, and the idea is I'm going a5. Is that the correct move?
No, I'm going to take on b5 and then rook a6 and over the f6 pawn. So
takes.
Once I
takes.
Takes, and then now I got a threat of rook a6.
Threat of rook. Okay, so not if I take it.
Yeah, then I'll play queen f6, and then you lost the another key pawn, and then now it's 3 versus 2, but king is completely exposed.
Right, so I agree to this. Now rook a6 is a big threat. So I need to find a good move. That's the problem for black. His king is so exposed. Yeah, it's not easy, is it, that position? Rook a6 is a serious threat, actually.
Well, there's one way of him playing is that can he play rook d6 threatening? Oh, he can't.
Then rook a6.
Queen d6.
Well, does that stop rook a6? Doesn't, does it?
Then you blockade.
Ah, but then I am a pawn up for nothing, and you've got a really seriously weak king.
Well, can we see that variation? Queen d6.
Queen d6. Yeah. Rook B6.
Rook D6, and then now I would like to play Rook E8 check,
Yeah, this is not nice, is it?
King G7, and then double up on the right, and then you got one check on D1. It's going to be.
Oh, but where's the mate?
There's no more mate, but
No, but where's the mate for white?
Well, first of all, Rook G8 check, King H6, Queen E3 check. There's nasty checks all around that position.
Probably lost. So that's the position Keith is thinking.
His thinking is down to 21 minutes, and I mean, when you're one pawn up, that's sufficient to win. When you grab the second pawn, you're bound to give opponents some counterplay. So why to play a rook and double rook end game, even with queens on the board, where you could have found another move, one pawn up, but position intact in center.
Maybe it's not true.
No, not now, but it was at when he
It's
took
very
on
hard to
B7.
state.
Yes, I agree. So why would you go that, and why would you give up your...
Okay, what do you do after Rook E7?
Here.
Yeah. Take the pawn.
Yeah, take over the pawn on B4 with the rook.
Rook B4. Okay. Now double up. Or is it Queen H5 first? Wait a minute. Queen H5 check takes and Queen G6.
Yeah.
Don't want that.
No, you got to
So you're going to play Rook B1, aren't you?
Yeah. You
So I have to play B5.
Yeah, I think
I've got to play that move.
Yeah, I thought B5 was more. Now he's played
He didn't do that.
C1. So he's now saying that I want to enter via C6, and I want to gobble up your pawn on F6. So Rook A C1. And if you went back Rook D6, then there are Rook C4 with intentions of
Mate.
But B5 did similar thing. We need an open file for the rook. But what he's done is that he's put a rook on C1, and he's threatening Rook C6, which is quite unpleasant. So what can I do to kind of
Stop it.
stop it?
You could play Rook D6, Rook C4. That does look strong, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That is the problem for black. His king is so bad.
And get two rooks by playing rook takes B4.
Hang on, just a cotton picking minute.
Yeah.
Rook takes B4.
Yeah, Rook C6.
Yes.
Rook B1.
Rook B1.
Am I hanging my somewhere?
I don't try. I don't think you're hanging anything anywhere. Luckily for you.
Queen G4 check, King H8.
Yeah, well, I just got left to it. Yes, in my case, there's a king onto a corridor as opposed to stopping entry. Depends if we're still playing for a win.
Well, you're playing for a win. I mean, I can leave you with a lousy position by just taking this off and going here, can't I?
Yeah, you can.
Doesn't that leave you really struggling? I suppose you can get away with this now because I can't take the pawn, can I?
No, now Rook C8 check.
Then no, but that's all right.
Rook C8 check, King G7, Queen A8.
You are a brave man.
Queen G4 check, Queen G6. Let's go back here. So Rook A C1.
Yeah.
Rook D6.
Yeah,
Rook
C4.
C4.
Rook C4 is quite.
So take the pawn.
Take the pawn, and then now Rook C6, you go Rook B1.
B1.
And now I have a move for this one, which is Rook takes B1, Queen takes B1, King G2.
And then
Both pawns are hanging.
Then this.
Queen F6. Should be a winner.
No, Queen F6, Queen E4 check. You lose.
So what happens to Rook C8 check, King G7, Queen A8?
Right. Well, there should be some way to do this, shouldn't there? So this is the right move, isn't it? Because you can't play Queen G6.
Yeah, and then King F8.
Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere. His king is coming out. Is there some mate on E8? Right. So we'll get him a bit further out, shall we?
Yeah.
Out and about.
King E7.
Suppose you can defend with Rook E6, you know. So Rook C7 check. Good. Let's get my pieces working together.
King F8.
Right, now all I have to do is mate you. So this shouldn't be too difficult. How do I do it? He's got that blinking check. Queen c4. It's amazing. You can escape this position. And then rook e6 as well. Then rook e6. Annoying. So he's blocking with the queen. He's blocking with the rook. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
Well, clearly Keith is, you know.
Yeah, and that final position, I have a thought, Andy.
Right. Let's run this through again. Rook here.
Yeah.
Rook here.
Yeah.
Rook down.
Yeah. Rook takes.
Takes king.
Rook b6.
That's the only move, isn't it?
Queen g4 check.
Yes. King comes.
Rook c8 check.
Come out.
Queen e2 check. You got queen e2 check, rook e6. Yes. You know, now because the rook comes to e6.
You see, how many checks do you have? You've got, let me see, you've got one check on e4, f3, then he checks on b2. That's very annoying.
What if I play queen f4 now?
Queen c4.
Queen f4 is a bit more.
Queen d4. Queen d4.
Yeah, threatening queen.
Right, queen d4 looks like the move, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Now rook d6. Rook d6 is rook c7, picking up, and then king e6. Queen e3 check. You know, your king comes out for the walk.
There must be some way to do this. So queen d4 is a really nasty move to beat.
Yeah. So for the benefit of the audience there, we need to do a king hand, Andy. So rook d6, rook d6, rook c7 check, king e6, queen e3
Wait a minute,
check.
wait a minute. Rook d6 looks like such a terrible, clumsy move.
Yeah, rook c7 check.
Is that his king is starting to wander, yes?
Yeah, king e6.
Here he comes. This is where we want him. Well, queen c4 is going to pick something up, isn't it? Queen c4 is going to win some material.
Queen c4, king f5.
I love the king out there.
King f5.
Now can I, well, that pawn on f7 looks a bit tempting. It's even more tempting than it is on move 4. Rook takes f7.
Queen f4 check, pick the rook up. Sorry.
King e6.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
I just want to take that pawn, you know. Running away. He doesn't run very far, does he?
Okay, let me.
No, that's a killer. That's a killer blow, mate. That is the killer move. That is the end. Who suggested that? Right, give him a prize. Chess recipes from the Grandmaster's kitchen. Round of applause for our friend there. Excellent stuff. He has found the key to the riddle.
The thing is, now you've got to give us a recipe for this move.
Well, it's hardly difficult. It's mating 3 moves. Or a few moves longer if he decides to put all his pieces in the way. Queen g4. A rook h5. Here we go. Gathering nuts in May. What about that? Is that any good? So that is an extraordinarily long variation. Now, will we get that right? So let's run over it one more time. So rook ac1, he takes that. He goes for this endgame, hopefully. Now rook b6, queen g4 check. It looks all forced, you know. Not that, but this splendid move, queen d4.
Is there another difference?
We'll find out. No. Looks very good. -6. That's the crusher. Any other move?
Okay, let me play queen b4 and see how we make.
No, queen d4 absolutely outstrips every move.
Okay. Right.
So queen d4, yes.
Queen b4. Let me offer queen exchange and see if you.
A queen exchange?
And then how do you make me?
There won't be any queen exchanges here, mate. How about that?
King d7. King d6. Let's go for the joyride. King d6.
The joyride?
Yeah, my king's trying to hitch a ride to some b2 or some kind of square where he can't make me.
There's a song called The Road to Nowhere.
You know, until proven, you know, the king is not guilty of anything.
Right, where's the mate? Come on. Okay, so I say I check here.
So now king e7 back,
You mean this is not mate?
king e6.
Can't believe you're surviving this. How can you get away with this nonsense? Right, it was very simple. I turn on my trusty friend. King d6, rook d8 check, king c7, and the type of move that's difficult to see when you're analysing impromptu, queen e8, quiet move, no check. It's gone out to -8.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is now you're threatening.
Well, they can.
Hang on a minute, what happens if I play out of b8, you've got queen d7 check?
No.
Any more moves? He's still thinking.
No, he's still thinking, you know.
He's still thinking.
He's still thinking.
14 minutes left.
Yeah. So let's go to the next game where it's soon heading for a very good crunch there.
So it's amazing. Hebden's kept this game going.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, keep going. So we really thought this game was going to end soon after queen a5 because
Yeah, queen d7.
queen d7, as you suggested.
Yeah, and he hoovered the pawn, which I didn't like. I was suggesting knight e4.
He sees a pawn, he takes a pawn. Yes, is that not allowed?
Yeah, knight e7 now.
Knight e7, yes.
Knight e4.
Yeah, as
Knight
was.
f5.
So this pawn's attacked on d6. He
Yeah.
defends it. Yes,
Yeah, queen c6.
yes.
Queen a7 running away.
Running away.
Queen a4 cat and mouse game.
You're not running anywhere.
And queen c7. And now queen a8 penetrating the 8th rank.
Right.
Queen d7.
Yeah. Lot of.
And in comes the cat and mouse again with queen d8. And this time he can't run any.
There's a nasty check on f6 coming up, isn't there?
Yeah, it's this kind of triangulation. You know, the queen chased everywhere until he got to a decisive square on d8. Where now queen into d8, bishop into d8. You know, one pawn up.
So
It's 2 pawns up. What's a pawn between friends? Or even 2 pawns?
Yeah, so what is the winning continuation? Is he threatening bishop c7?
Win with 2 extra pawns.
So king f7 played.
Create a passed pawn.
Yeah, king f7, g3, fixing every weakness.
King f7, g3, yeah.
Yeah, and now, in my opinion, that knight has become like a spider. So can we draw what all the squares that the knight is attacking? So, you know, so
Which
the
knight?
is like an octopus on e4, defending everything. And also, you know, it's like
Okay, so we just go back to the endgame technique for our answers. Number 1, improve the position of the king.
Yeah.
Number 2, create a passed pawn. Number 3, queen the passed pawn.
Yeah.
And at the end, number 4, hopefully get the other guy to resign.
so king e8 now,
Wait a minute. So king e8, all right.
bishop a5,
Yes,
king d7,
yes.
and now full circle bishop d2.
Right, well, that's to control the knight.
Yeah, that's to control the knight. And now,
So White's winning plan is basically b4, isn't it?
yeah, b4.
But why not bring the king across the centre
yeah,
first?
the king has to come to d3. Can we just magically pull it to d3?
We can magically put it there.
Yeah, and that is the kind of the technique that we're going to see here, you know.
Well, he's just going to play b4. So Hebden's got to wait for that to happen.
Yeah, is king x3 and g4 any recipe for winning? King x3.
Well, that's also a plan, isn't it? Because then you can get another h5 coming up, undermining the knight. I mean, that must be another winning plan. What can Black do? White can actually combine threats on both flanks. Let's try some ideas for Black. I've always been known to be incredibly generous.
Knight h6.
Knight h6, threatening a check. Threatening a check. Well, yeah, let's come over.
Yeah.
Because he can also go to f3 and play g4, can't it? 2 pawns, you know, this should be, for a grandmaster, fairly simple fare.
Yeah, and also, if you see, if you
None
also
at all.
see that, you know, he's past the time pressure. So, there's nothing like a time pressure for him. And then I think he can negotiate this into a very nice win. And then hopefully we'll see Simon Williams on the top boards, and another exciting game.
Well, keep going then. It hasn't finished yet. I'm carrying
Can I
on.
also explain that there's a contrast between how he handled this game against Howell and the way he's played here, So this certainly shows he can play a very quiet, nudge his opponent to a very bad position. And
Okay, I'm going to carry on because I try some moves for black. Let's say he comes back.
yeah, come back, King F3.
King H3, yeah? If you want to get G4 in.
Now King H3 is going to go knight F3.
King F3, well, I've got to come back then.
Yeah, and now I want to put my knight on. Yeah, no, I want to put my knight on E6. Knight G5. Now my king comes to E4, and then I also have an option.
The worst thing about this is you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm getting tortured and you're enjoying every minute. This is not my idea of fun. Okay, I shall keep defending. The heart attack is an option.
Yeah, knight E6.
Eh?
Knight E6 plus. Get bishop
The
on.
spectre of defeat looms.
So where are you going to put the bishop on? F6.
Oh, all right.
And then knight F8, forcing the knight.
Oh, yeah, another pawn bites the dust. But wait, just a second, sunshine. King here.
Yeah.
Take my pawn, Sonny. The knight could be trapped. A new twist. Yeah, but it's probably now instead of definitely. That's how I like it. Why'd you give that check? That was crazy.
No, hang on a minute. I haven't finished it. I've finished with you yet.
Oh,
So,
yes, what? Come on then.
G4, you're going to play knight D4 check. You don't take on G4. That's the problem.
I might take on H4 if I'm feeling greedy.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Get a new favourite then.
Yeah. So bishop. Okay. So obviously knight E6 back.
Yeah, that would be the give the opponent some hope that you've blundered. I've seen people do that. It's not for this tournament. It's for the next tournament. The tournament after that. They want the next William Hebden's game. He'll play a couple of checks with his knight and then play the winning move.
Okay.
Just keep it going as long as possible.
Okay. If I don't play the check, can we go back?
All right, don't play the check then.
Okay. Bishop E1.
Please finish me off.
Bishop
E1.
E1.
Okay, so you're going to get G4 in. I can see that.
Yeah. And you have
Added to which I have to make a move, which is always a drawback in a position like this. Okay, I'll make a move then. A miserable little move.
Yeah, and then bishop F2, control that knight completely.
Control the knight completely. All right. Okay. Oh no, then you might be able to check me. This really is an absolutely lousy position. Okay, king back. Improving the position of my king. Start to set the pieces up for the next game.
Okay, let's give him another torture. Can we play G4 now and give him another torture?
G4.
Yeah.
So this is on pre.
Yeah. I want to take.
You've got something ready for me. You're going to play. I don't need to be told what it is. Okay, like an idiot, I'll take it. Check. Okay.
G to H5.
Okay.
Knight G7 check. Pick it up.
Put it down.
Another 30-40 moves.
Enjoy every minute.
Enjoy every minute.
My bishop's dominating your knight. Unfortunately, you've got about 10 extra pawns. This is the difficulty with this position. Right, can we go back?
Yeah.
And can I please never see this position again in the history of chess when I'm sitting behind black?
So I
this
think
is
it's gonna
just
be-
horrible.
I think it's going to be a long game.
And if I were Williams, I would string it out because there must be a whole list of English chess players who've been given the same treatment by Hebden over the years. Virtually all the top English players have been given the same treatment that he's going to be receiving here.
Yeah.
So Williams Hebden's bound to occur in many different tournaments over the years. So he's going to keep him sitting there for hours.
Yeah.
And it's all going to come down to this move here, isn't it? B4, I think. B4 or G4.
Yeah, at the right time.
Yeah, about 10 p.m.
All right. So okay, let's go back to Keith Arthur.
Oh, that's happened. It's happened. Rook C6. Rook B4, wasn't it?
played, yeah.
Rook C6 now. What have we got on the clocks? We've got 9 minutes for Summerscale. He surely intended Rook B1 in this position. Must be his intention. And he's trying to work it out. Has he seen Queen D4 somewhere down the line? It would be interesting if he had. So just to run over this for people just coming in.
I have a new move here. Can I play Queen D4?
Queen D4.
Yeah.
Well, Rook F6.
Or
I don't think you want to do this.
You're not mating me?
I've taken off all your pawns first. How about that?
So yeah, that's the problem now, isn't it?
Your king's even more exposed now.
So Rook B1 is the move I think he's thinking.
I'm pretty sure he will play Rook B1. He hasn't made a move yet. That must be his intention, yes?
Yeah.
And then he's looking. Is it really the case that my king is protected here? It is interesting to see, you know, there's limited material on the board, but still, it's very difficult to defend this. And that this failed to this splendid sequence.
Yeah.
And then it goes out to +6 and beyond.
Yeah.
The Queen D4 is difficult to see at the outset, isn't it?
Yeah,
Back
but
here.
time.
But you will find it. He will find it. Keith, I mean, he's such an expert at these endgames. He'll certainly find it if he gets there. At the moment, he's just proceeding on feel. You know, I feel I can win this because his king is so exposed. Summerscale's thinking, can I really defend that position?
Well, say he thinks, no, I can't.
Well, has he got any other move apart from Rook B1? That we haven't discussed that yet. I'm taking on F6 and then surely it's lost. Is there any other move? That must have been his intention. It has to be.
No, okay. Try then Queen B7.
Queen B7 and I'm in heaven.
Now I take on A4.
Take on A4. Time to knock on the door.
Well, he has Queen B1 check. Hang on a minute, it's not clear.
Queen B1, check in a loud voice. Play the heart attack card.
Queen G6.
Oh, Queen G6.
Okay. It's an unfeasibly long move. Yes, please.
And Queen F5.
Queen F5.
Nothing is hanging.
It soon will be.
Queen D5 check.
Okay, it's check. Don't panic. Of course, I'm well aware. I'm taking a few risks here. Queen H5 check's not bad. No. Okay, I just need a move here.
So there's one more move.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So Queen B7. There must have been a win there somewhere.
Yeah.
What, Rook G5, is that move?
No, Queen G5 check.
Isn't Rook G5?
Hang on a minute. I have a very nice trick. Let's go Queen G5 check.
Okay.
Where's the king going to go?
Is that must be a trick question?
Well, I'm angling Queen E5, and then when your king's on G8.
Oh, let me put it on the most ridiculous square first.
Queen E5 check.
Okay. Oops, excuse me. Okay, Queen E5 check. Yes. My next move is fairly predictable.
So,
but couldn't you have short-circuited all this by playing Rook E5? I don't get it. Queen B7, Queen F6, Rook A4. Isn't that just very strong?
yeah,
You can have your check.
Yeah, Rook A1 check.
Yeah, but yeah. Now you can pin the rook.
There's no mate, so I can play.
No, mate.
No, there's Rook C1.
I can win your queen. Rook C1. Ah, how delightful.
Yeah.
I shall revert to the under 9 tactic of taking all the pieces off.
Yeah. So there's no Rook C1. So and Rook C8 is again.
You can't survive this with your king over there. Come on.
Well,
I'm actually threatening to win, believe it or not.
yes.
So if I played Rook G4.
Rook G4. Okay, let's have a look. Well, now you have,
Rook E7.
and then he goes checking Queen G6. Check on b1 and queen g6, which is quite an annoying resource. But still, your king is so wide open. I can't believe I can't win this quite comfortably.
No, I think that I think.
Okay,
that,
let me check. Swap off the active pieces.
That's fine. I mean, you can
Wait,
king,
and your move?
King h8 or f8 doesn't matter.
King f8. Okay, then we'll get coordinated. Then I'll block my rook in. So check.
Yeah, king g8.
Now I need to cover e4, don't I? So this would be this or this. I can't believe you can survive this.
Queen b1. Queen b1 check. Queen e4 check.
Yes, king h3. Yes, I've covered h5. Okay, let me do this. Oh, then queen e6 check, swapping off the queens. That would be really quite annoying, wouldn't it? Damn it. How do I do this?
So rook c6.
Rook c4. Let's try that. At least we cut out the queen check on e4. Okay, what do you do now?
Yeah, queen b1 check and queen g6.
Move again.
So that he's played a completely different move. I think it was rook b1.
Right, okay.
So he has played
Queen a5.
Queen a5, and the motivation here is that at some
Some
point
cheapo.
e1 is going to hang. So if you play queen f6, he can play rook g4. That is the
I'm
point.
tempted to say big deal. Okay, takes. Play your
Rook
cheapo.
g4. I got to play rook g4.
Double up.
It's all looking quite
Terminal is the word you're looking for.
yeah. But there's a couple more moves in.
So Queen a5. That's a strange move, isn't it? Have we missed something? It's possible we missed something, like rook f4 or some move like that.
Well, queen.
That's desperado move with the rooks because on this thing here. But of course, I can always play a queen check.
No, rook f4, queen. No, you don't have a queen check. Rook f4 now.
Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can still play an ending a pawn up after queen takes pawn, can't I? I can still play queen takes check, king g2. I mean, that's a pawn up for nothing, isn't it? But no passed pawn. The end game, this could be a draw because no passed pawn, but I doubt it.
If I were black, I wouldn't like to lose my A pawn. Sorry, if I were white, I wouldn't like to lose my A pawn. And then there'd be an outside pass on the black side because it's just conceivable.
Yeah, hang on a minute. What happens if I play rook f6?
Rook f6 also looks interesting. Now, we have to look for desperados with this rook because that one's hanging beyond. Okay, what can he do?
Oh, let me play another strong move. Sorry. Your f6 is hanging anyway. You've given up, yeah? So let me double the rooks now. Rook e to c1.
What, just played now?
Yeah, rook e c1.
Well, that could be a strong move as well.
And then if you go rook b1 now, I can play queen f6 safely. You have no checks.
Okay, show me the mate.
I'm just playing queen f6. Yeah, queen f6 now. It's quite strong.
Okay, I can't do that.
Yes.
It's strong because of that. Covers the back rank. Well, black's problems remain. His biggest problem is the exposed king. That's it. It's not material. It's the king that's giving him headaches. White may win a pawn. He may, but I think the best thing, the main thing is White's looking for mate.
Yep. So we go back to Hebden. There's one more move. We played bishop e3.
Bishop d2.
Bishop e3. And I don't
Bishop
know why.
e3.
Yeah, why should he exchange this, and go to a knight opponent game, which is not ideal? Because the knight is threatening to come to d4. So you see that bishop d2 move possibly was not the best move. And if you go bishop a5 now,
Well, I mean, the first thought is what happens after bishop takes bishop, and then go back to the g4 plan. I mean, why don't I swap off here? I'm 2 pawns up.
knight e3.
93. Okay, then I can always cover that pawn, right? Then move the king in. You can't move your king. You can't rove around.
Knight c2.
Knight d4 is covered. King f2.
Knight d4.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, can you play king e7 now and then
King here.
king e7? King e3.
King e3. Yeah.
Oh no, you're not threatening b4. King f6.
6. Then check.
The king e7 back.
e7. Yeah, maybe it's not easy without the passed pawn.
No, I think
So that's what he's trying for.
yeah, that bishop d2 was a mistake. And then, you know, he didn't have to play bishop d2. He wanted king g2, king f3, isn't it? So bishop e3, and after the bishops is swapped, not an easy endgame at all. Again, you know, we are now, you know, it's going to be a long time for, you know, to prove this one. I mean, one of the things was essentially,
When the knight is on d4 and the king is on d3, it's supposed to be four.
yeah, then knight c2 check, knight into b4.
That's what the clocks are like. It's about pressing on the clock.
Well, it's move 44, don't
Yeah, I
forget.
mean, it's going to be a long.
9 minutes, 15 seconds left for Simon.
So there's, he's played in Keith Arkell has played rook into f6.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, back we go. So queen a5.
Yeah. Rook takes f6.
Rook takes f6, yep.
And then the simple thing he's saying is that if you play rook f4, if you play rook f4, I just simply gobble it up with queen f4 and then queen into e1 check king g2. I'm on a6 pawn as well as I'm on that side. So he's saying that, you know, this is quite simple.
There's no discovery with the rook, is there? That attacks e1 that can be troublesome. So what were you saying again, Ravi? Rook takes a4?
Yeah, rook takes a4. Now you need a good move with the rook because you could be playing
But then he checks and goes.
queen. Now why don't we play rook e7?
All right, rook e7 then. Okay, so that seems to have everything covered.
Rook a1 check king g2 and then queen e1. There's no queen e1, so you and he's taken rook a4 now and then
He took rook a4.
Yeah,
Yep.
he must have seen rook e7 now.
Okay, so
And you know, rook e7 looks quite difficult. So, oh right, there's another trick. No, there's no other trick. Rook e7 is what looks like the move he's going to play. And then now rook a1 check, king g2. Can he play rook a3 or something like that?
can I play a move like this?
Yeah, queen b5 threatening that check. But then queen g4 check,
King h8.
king h8, and you know, are you threatening queen f1 check now? Or, so he's still thinking. I think the rook shouldn't leave the back. And then can we put the rook back and then play a
One move away from victory, aren't I?
Yeah. So
Just a second. No, we're missing this move, aren't we? Knockout punch.
Yep.
That's it. You need to get the rook out of the way to let the queen in. Right, so that is a bit strong. So rook e7 check looks like a bit of a killer, threatening rook g6.
yeah, he hasn't played anything yet there. Rook a4, he's still thinking. You know, this is the only thing that could be a time pressure, flurry of moves, 12 more moves needed, and hopefully we'll get a decisive thing. And I think going back to Hebden, and
Well, he hasn't actually played rook e7, has he?
hasn't played rook e7.
But that, just let's check this one more time. So it's hitting f7 3 times.
Yeah.
Is no tactics whatsoever. And the threat is rook g6. That actually threatens to terminate the game. So black has no quiet moves.
We have one more move in Hebden where
I think that finishes him off. Well, possibly, but let's not forget he's short of time, and he's been under terrible pressure for a long time. You can't really criticize him. So this is the position. Knight takes e3. Okay.
Yeah.
And now what? Any more moves?
your king h3.
King h3. Okay.
He's put that knight in some kind of swamp, saying you can't move the knight now.
He wants to play g4.
Yeah, and if you play king d7, then it is knight f. Then it is
Knight f2, is it?
Yeah, no, knight f2.
That's the right move. This
c2.
Knight c2. Okay, g4.
G4. Knight d4.
Knight d4. Okay, hang on a minute.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. You can't, you know, King E7 played as I said. So King H3, King E7, and you know you need something now for white. You know you can't play G4.
I need a passed pawn. That's what I need.
So you need to get the knight to D3, isn't it? So can I play knight F2 now, threatening G4?
Knight F2.
Yeah, and then you play knight
C2, and now knight D3.
Yeah, knight D4.
Now hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look at this.
King F6 is.
That's a very strong square for the knight.
So knight D4, B4. That's what I'm.
That's what we're trying to get in.
Yeah.
Can you go back to E3 and the knight to hit C4?
Here.
Just to try and stop it.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like Zugzwang almost. If it was black to move, he just move his king. So white's got to find a good move here. Well, doesn't that look remarkably similar to the starting position?
Yeah. So we have one more move back in the Aaron Summerscale. He's played rook A4, and he's still thinking with 9 minutes left on his clock.
So knight to D4. So Williams Hedman, what's the move again, please? Can we go to the position?
King E7, as we have King H3, King E7, and it's no longer easy now. So if you go knight F2, I'm going to go knight C2, and if I play G4, and then you go knight D4, and then if I take on H5, bit too slow because you can swap off.
Right, I've got a pass pawn.
Yeah, but by the time I come on H5, you would have taken B3 and C4.
You won't get both of them.
No, you will get both of them. So what are you playing?
Well, I'm hoping to be able to get my king to.
All right, yeah, you can't do anything. Yeah. So this looks like, you know, to be a very long end game.
It's not easy, is it? It's not easy at all.
Yeah. So okay, so in that question, let me try another plan. Let's go back. You know, go back and then, you know, so King H2. Let me go.
King E7.
Yeah.
What do you want to play?
King H2.
Okay. Okay. So black has to do nothing. Yes.
Yeah.
If he comes for the pawn.
Yeah. King H2, knight C2. King G2.
Yeah.
Knight D4.
Right. Knight D2. Yes.
Knight D2, and then King F6.
King F6. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, this is not, again, you're nowhere in the G4 zone, and then so, you know, you can't do anything. Oh, well, you can play king. You can, oh, yeah.
It's really not easy.
Not easy.
Not easy at all.
So, you know, I mean, he's going to fight it out. So, Williams, there's no more move.
That could last a long time.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly difficult.
Yeah.
Because he can't get that pass
Yeah, I
pawn.
think that bishop d2 was a mistake. If you go back to the position where
Here.
Yeah, this is the position. You should have just played king g2.
You suggested that, didn't you? Bring the king to the middle and go G4.
Yeah. So the point now is that, you know, he doesn't have any cheapos like knight e3 check or something. So
We'll say he passes.
Yeah, king f2.
Pass.
Yeah, passes. Now bishop d2, you can't exchange.
Or better still, bishop E1 to get G4 in.
Yeah. This is fine.
And then B4. You get B4 in. That's the key move.
You talk to a lot of juniors about endgame, and you say, like, you know, get the king involved, and you know, at this grandmaster.
Arkle played rook E7.
Yeah,
I'm afraid that looks like the end. Rook A1 check, king G2, and now Queen B5 is all coming true. So rook G6 check. Thank you for the game. Will he play it? Is he going to play it? What are you doing?
Rook G6 check.
This is the game position. We're waiting for rook G6 check.
Probably would play this variation.
You wait 10 seconds left and then play it.
You might do that. Keith is more merciful. Oh, rook G6 in. That's it. End of the game. Let's see how big the computer evaluation is after that. I'm aiming for plus 20. Mate in 3. It doesn't even give an evaluation.
Well,
Okay.
it's got 6 minutes to play that rook G6. You know, it's playing king H3. He's missed that.
No! King H3. Unbelievable.
Okay, Queen F1.
7 minutes.
Yeah,
And he played King H3. That's incredible.
yeah, can I play?
Eh?
Hang on a minute. Can I play now?
Is that somebody joking around with demonstration
No,
boards?
no, it's Queen H3
I
play.
can't believe that.
Queen F1 check.
He missed mating 3.
Yeah,
Well, now what's going on here?
yeah. Queen F1 check.
It's gone haywire. The king's marching up to mate him on
Yeah, King
G6.
H4 is the move, basically. King H4.
What is this?
King H4 and then Rook A4 check. That's presumably what I think it is. And then he says G4, and I'm going to mate you anyway.
Yeah, but it's still, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. That's incredible. Missing mate in 3.
King
Can't
H4
believe
now.
it.
King H4 now.
Eh?
King H4.
This is the game, King H4. I can't believe it.
Rook
Arkle's got
A4
7
check
minutes
G4.
left as well.
Rook A4 check G4.
Well, he's got Rook A4 check.
G4.
G4.
And there's nothing that he can do now.
You said that very convincingly. It's better than it has been. Let's put it that way.
Well, what is he going to stop that Rook G6? Even if he hasn't seen Queen B1, Rook into Rook FF7. That's like a massive.
F7 is all the weakest point on the board, Ravi.
Huh?
Queen where? No, it's Black's move. Yeah, Black. It better be Black's move, or Rook F7 is going to finish it. He missed Rook G. He's still threatening Rook G6 check. Will he eventually see it?
Right.
Yeah. Then you've made. Oh, Rook G6 check doesn't work then. That was lucky, wasn't it?
Rook B5, is it?
No, he's playing Queen C4, but then I could just take on F7, can't I?
Yeah,
Rook
FF7.
FF7.
Yeah.
I cannot believe he missed mate in 3. Well, that's the position. King H4. Aaron's thinking. He's already had one great escape. Just keep going back to that game for a second. Let's any last resource for Black?
Nothing. He's got 3 minutes and going down. It's going to go down very, very soon.
His king's too weak. His king is too weak. Right, okay, I'm going to go check. Okay, G4.
Yep.
And I'll kick off with Queen G1. Oh, then you go Rook G6 check.
Yep.
That move is quite annoying. No, there's no move, isn't it? As long as he sees Rook G6 check, then he's dead. All right, Queen C4 then.
Check G4.
G4, Queen C4.
No, now there's a defense. Queen C4, check G4, Rook F8. Now you no longer have that Rook G6.
No, hang on a sec. This position. What are you doing? Queen C4.
C4 check.
Yeah, but I go Rook F4 here. I don't need to mate you. Can't I mate you another way? Okay, G4. What was your defense?
Rook F5.
You said Rook F8.
Yeah. It's not clear at all. It's not clear at all.
Not clear at all? Well, I think we're looking at a different game. Queen here.
What's your threat?
I'll tell you when it actually happens.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay, can I kind of tie you down with Rook A4 now? No threat.
What do you mean, no threat? Just a second. This is slow motion, mate. I don't know what you've got planned, but it better be good.
So I think, yeah. So 1 minute 30 seconds left on the clock.
I think Black having had one massive escape, missing Rook G6 check that's incredible. That's King H4. So he's thinking, I think, as you say, he's going to run out of time. 1 minute 17, 1 minute 16. Any more moves in Hebden's game before we come back to see Aaron losing on time?
Hebden game. So it's just king h2, knight.
Hang on. So what was it? Bishop e3.
Yeah.
45. King h3.
Okay.
King e7.
King h2.
Yeah.
Knight f5.
Knight f5.
King g2.
Yeah.
Knight d4.
Yeah.
And now g4.
So he's gone for it.
Yeah. So the point now is that can black now play knight to b3, and then you let you take on h5, and then there's no entry for you.
Well, what I really want to do is make it as difficult as possible for you to get a pass pawn. So I suppose the plan is, if he takes this,
Yeah, that's what he did.
we're going to go knight here. Is that the plan?
No, king g3.
King
No,
g3.
yeah, forget that one.
Okay, I'll take it then, if you're forgetting about it.
King g4. And now the move, I think.
f5 maybe is coming.
Yeah, no. Now the move is knight a5.
Knight a5. I don't trust that. I don't trust that.
Yeah, well, he's hoovered off the pawn, knight b3, and now after king g4.
That is the position in the game.
Yeah, now knight a5 to tie the knight back to d2.
So
Knight
then
a5.
King f6, is it?
King g5. So I think he's trying something like king g5 and winning the pawn.
Knight here.
And then
Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just go 90?
This is good. I want knight endings. You want the outside passer.
Yeah. And then now king f7 is knight d6. So this is the win. So
Right. So we take this. Take this. This
So
should
he-
be all over. Yeah?
No, he's taken the pawn. He hasn't gone knight a4. He's come back knight d4.
Wait a minute. So king takes g4. Knight d4.
And
Okay.
then king g5. Knight f3 check.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think once he gets his king up.
Yeah. King g5. Knight f3 check. King g6. Knight check. King h5.
I tell you what. I think h5 is probably a nice easy win. You know.
And why to play knight h5? I mean, see, you will get king f6 if I did that. So
5 looks strong.
Right. Say I get these guys rolling. I go here. Let you give a check. Yes.
no, knight f3 check.
Right. I take this off. You take this off. I go here.
Yeah. Knight f5.
Knight f5 here,
Knight d4.
and then push.
Yeah, this is quite dangerous. King f7.
Quite dangerous.
King f7. That's the principle of this game.
And then if knight f3, king here, and if knight check, king here,
Yeah.
and you can't take the pawn. Pass pawn. That's the key.
Yeah. Arkell game is coming down to an end.
He played rook g6 check.
Yeah. He played.
He
queen
managed to find it in the end.
Queen h1.
Here we go. So hang on. That's it. So yeah,
He played queen h1.
king h4,
Queen h1.
queen h1.
And then rook g6 check.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Hang on. So that is going to be 1-0, isn't
Yep.
it?
Easily.
In fact, the clocks have stopped, so we can assume that Arkell's now won.
Yeah.
Right, so final review of Williams versus Hebden. Let's go back. Ravi's off. He's had enough.
As it go anything, it's gonna go on and on. So
That's right.
yeah, that's the position we have. And
So the position we have is this one.
yeah, and Williams is thinking whether to play king g5 and the powerful pass pawn. I think one of the things here is that the perennial weakness is that pawn on d6, which is tying down the king. So when you play king g5, as we predicted, knight f3 check, and then king g6, knight h4 check. I'm even thinking that you should come back to h5. You should come back to g5, and then knight f3 check. King h5, king g5 check, 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 king h5. Knight has to go to f5 to stop, otherwise it's out. I played something different, like knight g2, then f5, then
Knight g2.
Knight g2.
Well, I just go there. Want to play a simple move.
Yeah,
Then knight
Knight
e3,
e3,
f5. Let's get it going.
knight into c4.
Oh, I see. Then this. Oh, maybe that's not such a win. Yeah.
No, it's not so easy.
Right. There's the meeting of the ECF Governance Committee at 7 o'clock in here. If anybody wants to ask them what they've been doing, if you're watching online, we're going to remain online, and we'll be back at 7 o'clock with this meeting. It shouldn't be a long meeting, but it is an important one. If anybody wants to ask what they've been looking at, I've been reviewing the whole of ECF procedure, and they'll tell you what they've discovered at 7 p.m. So we'll be back then. Thank you all for watching online or in the studio here, and thanks to my co-commentator Ravi. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m.